Lynette Jennings. Welcome to the show. Today we're in Del Mar, California, looking at our showcase house, which is right behind me. And is this ever a great story? Okay. In Del Mar, you can only build on 25% of your lot. Think about the house you're sitting in right now, and think a quarter of your property. That's your house. You know what that means? Big architectural challenge. What you're looking at right now is sort of a Wrightian interpretation of a 2,000 square foot house sitting on a pie-shaped wedge lot that is very complicated. Now, what's Wright architecture? We're talking Frank Lloyd Wright, my buddy, and if you've watched the show lots of times, you'll know how much he was very much a role model for me architecturally. So when I saw this house and the scouting shots, I said, baby, I'm home. I'm here. Now, what is it I like about this architecture so much? Well, it's the roof lines, first of all. He tended to design his houses from the roof. He wanted long, low, lean lines that were part of the earth, part of the contour of the land. And what anchors that roof to the ground? Columns. Only these columns, these stone columns, aren't just straight up and down, which sends your eye up. Instead, they're trapezoids. A geometric shape that is actually a vertical rectangle, but the top is narrower than the bottom. And what a trapezoid does is pull your eye down. So it has this effect of pulling the roof down to the ground and really giving it some anchor. The other thing I really like about the house is the way it's sitting on the land. It's like a ship, or you might say it's like climbing a cliff. The roof lines tend to stack downward toward the wedge of land, and it brings you up. You know, when you live on the West Coast, you get the windswept Torrey pines that come off the ocean. You get the cliffs that tend to come out from the mainland and meet at the top, so you have a wonderful view. And the house tends to do that. It wants to climb up this sort of hillside and send you off into this gorgeous view up above. The roof lines do that, the shape of the house, and even the floor plan does that, but what also makes it work that way is your approach. Notice I've come all the way to the end, and as I walk up this pathway, it's kind of a Japanese effect where the stones are kind of skipping and they're odd shapes and there's plant material, and then you have a few rocks. It makes you stop. It makes you pause and look at all the wonderful landscaping, and more particularly, it makes you stop and look at the front doors, which emphasize that trapezoidal shape. And this time the trapezoid's upside down. The wide part's at the top, the narrow at the bottom, and so now it makes you want to go up and approach. Oh, the leaded glass is stunning. This is one of my favorite features in this house. Look at this door. Okay, we said it was a trapezoid, right? Look at the hardware, or absence of it. There's no knob or pull set, no lever hardware, just a little lock. And you'll notice I pushed the door open. It's actually a friction set door. It's the friction of the bottom of the wood on the bottom of the door rubbing against the granite that actually holds the door into its position. But it's interesting also because it doesn't have a normal set of hinges. You can't hinge a trapezoid. It would open up funny. It would be on an angle. So if you look behind the door, when you open it, it actually exposes the outside through the back and the front of the door at the same time. It actually swivels on a pin, and it exposes the stone wall that comes all the way through the house. The other interesting thing about this door design is the leaded glass. You see, Frank Lloyd Wright, well, he wanted to be involved with every detail in and outside his houses, even to the extent where he influenced the furniture arrangement of a client's house. Now, that's probably going a little bit too far, but he did love windows. So what you're looking at here is very much the Frank Lloyd Wright pattern or approach to window design, which is all leaded glass. Now, of course, the current architect didn't copy Frank Lloyd Wright pattern. He created his own, but it is in the Frank Lloyd Wright style. When we come back, we're going to look at the rest of the house and see that it is just as exciting as the exterior.